Hey everybody, Spine Ticks Pressing here. Stay tuned because I've got a CGC unboxing to share with you. Hey everybody, Spine Ticks Pressing here, and I've got a great video for you. It's a CGC unboxing, but before we get to that, let's take a look at the books before they were sent away to CGC. So here they are. Here's the first book that was sent off to CGC. It's Harley Quinn #1. It's the Adam Hughes variant, the padded room variant. A very nice book. This particular book had kind of a weird little scratch at the bottom and then an indentation that was very small. I was able to get the indentation out a little bit on the back side, and I'll try to put it up on the screen for you. There was a small color break, top right corner. I think this book, I'm going to make a prediction. It's going to be between a 9.2 and a 9.6. I think a 9.6 would be a real stretch, but I think it's probably going to be a 9.4. So let's put it right there. Let's take a look at the next book. The next book here is Amazing Spider-Man #252, newsstand edition. This is a book that I own since I was a kid and just have not taken the time to get it pressed clean and sent off to CGC. I think this one's in phenomenal shape. I'm going to say it's a 9.6 or maybe might come back a 9.8. So pretty strong feeling about the 9.6. All right, let's take a look at the next one. The next book is a copy of New Mutants '98, first appearance of Deadpool. And this one is a little tricky. There was a black smudge, and I'll show you the before and after picture here on the screen so you can take a look at it. I was able to get some of the black smudge out, couldn't get it all. It's really important if you're ever working in an area with yellow. The yellow ink is really dangerous to get on there. And the only thing that I was able to get the smudge out with was an eraser. So it's very lightly dabbing it with an eraser, a white eraser, and I improved it. Not 100%, but this particular one, I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere between a 9.2 and a 9.4. That's going to be my prediction on that book. Let's take a look. Here's the next one. The next one is, I guess, a timely one since we have, maybe by the time this airs, Deadpool will be out. Who knows? But first appearance of Lady Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth. This is the cover A. It's the train spotting homage. And this one I picked up at a show. And I'm going to tell you, this will be a separate video, I guess. But I'm really thinking maybe I'm going to make all my purchases online and just look at really nice scanned resolutions. This one had two little color breaks kind of right in this area here. And the rest of the book is very, very strong. I'm going to say it's going to be between a 9.4 and a 9.6. We'll see how much they want to get me on that little color break. It is on the front and the back. Last one is going to be Secret Wars #8. And this one has a little bit of spine stress. I think there's a couple little, really small little spine ticks on it. I don't know. This is kind of a crapshoot. Yes, the book itself looks pretty good. I think on the back side, there were some issues with like some printing errors and things like that, like some smudging on the back. I'm going to say it's between a 9.2 and a 9.4. I'm hoping it'll be better, but that's going to be my prediction. So those were the books. So let's take a look and let's unbox them right now. Hey everybody, here we are from inside the vault that I've been working on, creating a whole new hobby room. And I've got some of the walls done. I'm now at the part of the project where I'm just doing finishing work. So thanks for your patience. Sorry about the poor lighting, but let's get to that unboxing because we've got it here back from CGC. I'm a little concerned. This is a 5-book submission, and this seems to be a smaller size box than what I'm used to receiving back for the 5-book submissions. But let's cut it open and let's see what we got. You just saw the predictions of what's inside. So let's see what we've got and how the books fared over at CGC. Alright, so far so good. Looks like it's well packaged. I do not believe there's 5 books in here. Nope, there are 5 books. Very tightly packaged in this small box. I'm very surprised. Very surprised by it. So I'll put those things down. And here it is. Here's the pack. Got some nice flyers for Comic Links auction. And our invoice. There they are. And let's see what we've got. Let's start. I want to make sure I go in a good order here. So let's start with one of the books that I was really hopeful about. And let's pull it out of the bag. It is ASM 252. I thought this was an outstanding copy. I thought it had a chance to get either a 9.6 or a 9.8. Just looking at it right now, I see a little bit of a color breaking spine tick there. Very minute, but when I angle it down, I see actually quite a bit of issues in the book. And I'm kind of surprised. I see some waviness at the top, and I see a very deep spine stress line. Almost looks as if this book wasn't pressed, but I know it was because I worked on it. All right, so here is the book. I predicted I think a 9.6 or a 9.8, and it's going to come back a 9.4. That's a disappointing one. Thought that book would be higher. That's one that I'm going to definitely put in the back of my mind to maybe crack and resubmit. All right, so what we've got next up is Secret Wars number 8. And can't recall what the issues were I saw in it. I think maybe I predicted a 9.2 or a 9.4, and it came back a 9.4. So beautiful book. This one had, right in here, it's hard to see, but there are some areas where there's a little bit of color rub. All right, let's get to the next book. See what it is here. All right, the next one coming up is the New Mutants 98. And let's take a look at it. Looks great. Looking at it from the side. Yeah, I'm really concerned right now about regression. I'm seeing sort of these indentations. I'm wondering if maybe the time in which I'm submitting these books, because it's now in July, sending them to Florida, I'm not sure what the humidity level is like there. I'll have to do a little bit of research, but there's no question when I sent this book, it did not have these deep spine stress lines like I see in the book, and it's really upsetting. And I'm seeing some waviness here at the bottom. I'm really right now questioning the time period in which I'm sending these books to Florida, because I'm seeing a lot of regression in the book that was definitely not in the book when I sent it. All right, so I think, I can't recall what my prediction was on this book. Had some real hopes for it. It did have this strange little black mark, if you want to call it that, kind of running across the hair of these two characters here. So the book was a 9.2. After looking at it now and seeing the regression that is clearly present in the book, I think that's a very fair grade. And yeah, just not real happy with the amount of waviness in the book. This book did not have this kind of waviness in it at all. So, all right, let's go to the next one. And this next book is Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth, number 7. First appearance of Lady Deadpool. And again, I can't recall what I thought about this one. Let's take a look at this one for any kind of odd regression or anything like that. The book itself looks pretty good in terms of waviness. I'm seeing a lot of waviness in the book, in these books. I'm really wondering, gosh, I mean, this book was much flatter. I'm kind of seeing like a little bit of a, I don't know how you would describe it, kind of like a curve on the upper edge in a number of spots. And again, the spine stress lines are very pronounced. Very, very disappointing. Yeah, it's almost like the book is not flat in the inner well. It's like you can see like rolling or something inside the inner well. All right, let's take a look and see what the book came back as. Came back as 9.4. I think that's a fairly fair grade for this book. Actually, I'm looking at it right here, and I'm not sure if this is Newton rings or fingerprints, but I see 2 marks here. I'll try to give you a zoomed in view right in here, but that was definitely not present when I sent the book off. All right, last book of the 5, and cross our fingers. Hopefully we've got some good news in this submission. And the last one is the Adam Hughes Harley Quinn #1 Adam Hughes variant. And let's take a look at it. This one I thought there were some issues. I thought I saw a little color break on one of the corners. Yes, it was on the back. It's this upper right hand corner. And in the reflective light, you can see it. It's got a pretty good amount of, like I had it much flatter than it's presenting. And I see a little bit of roll here, a little bit of waviness. A lot of waviness in all of the books. This one shows some as well, but not nearly as much as the other books. So let's see what it is. Hey, a 9.8. So we got a 9.8. Yeah, I'd be curious about your thoughts. If you could please add in the comments below as to how the humidity levels of, I'm in a fairly dry climate in Texas, although it's warm. It's not super humid, but I'm sending them into Florida, and gosh, I just would assume they would go straight inside an air-conditioned building and stay in there. And maybe, I'm not sure, maybe that would have an effect on the books, maybe not. Just be curious as to what your thoughts are. But these books did not have this level of waviness to them. So very concerning to me. So I'm going to get back to the drawing board and try to figure out what I can do to eliminate that. I'm not sure if that means I need to keep the books under a cold press for a longer period of time before submitting. But these books all looked much better than they do. But got one good result out of all of them, a 9.8 for this Harley Quinn. And it's a beautiful copy. Don't think it should get the 9.8. I really wish I could say otherwise. But I guess a 9.8 does have, I have seen other commenters mention that 9.8s you can receive a 9.8 with a color breaking spine tick on the back. So thanks for tuning in. That's the unboxing. A bit disappointing. One positive note, this is actually a book for a client, so I think they'll be happy with the 9.8. But thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for all your support and supporting the channel. And get out there and find those books. As you do it, happy hunting.